Welcome back to Arkaya Voice Work. My name is Ellie Ball, and this is week 2 of Samsara, Oceans of Rebirth. At the beginning of the year, we're often wanting to level up who we are, elevate what we want to bring into this world, and manifest new hobbies, new dreams, new goals, and new habits. And that's what this series is all about, is recreating a new you with what you want to bring into 2023. Man, I can't believe it's 2023 already. All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to be focusing on the seed sound Ram. For this month, we're breaking down the mantra Om Ram Ramaya Namaha. This is a beautiful mantra for stimulating the solar plexus chakra, and Ram is the seed sound of the solar plexus chakra. Before we dive into that, I want to read you a little bit of an excerpt from one of my favorite books, Healing Mantras by Thomas Ashley Farrand. You can see that mine's kind of falling apart. It's been all over the world with me. A phenomenal resource, definitely, if you're getting into mantra. This has very much become my mantra Bible, so a phenomenal place to get started. So as we think about mantras and why we would use a mantra to help stimulate certain energy centers, this is what Thomas has to say about it. Mantra allows the chakras to switch on safely and to operate at a higher wattage. When we practice, When we practice Sanskrit mantra, we increase the ability of the chakras to hold a spiritual charge. It is as if a 25-watt bulb becomes able to hold 50 watts, and then 100 watts, 500 watts, 1,000 watts. Mantra's power derives not from any particular meaning that their syllables convey, but from the vibrational effect they create when they are pronounced repeatedly. Two beautiful things I want us to take away from this. One is the understanding of how we can utilize mantra to increase the energy that our different centers can actually hold, helping us to either bring more things into our life, helping with a depletion that we might have in one of these centers. And the second part that I want us to focus in on is when he says that it's not about the particular meaning of what syllables convey, but rather the vibrational effect they create when pronounced repeatedly. Why this is important is because you don't have to believe in the religion that comes along with a lot of Sanskrit, where Sanskrit led to, Hinduism, Buddhism, all of these beautiful things that have their foundation of their language in Sanskrit. And as we do the Om Ram Ramaya mantra, it is a praise to Lord Rama, and you can choose to believe that or not, but it's less about that particular Lord in this case, and more about just understanding the intention and the effect that this certain grouping of syllables create as they vibrate through our being. So you don't have to be religious to be able to participate in Sanskrit mantra or mantras of any other language. It is really about understanding the story and the intention behind a certain set of syllables or sounds and the effects that they create on our body so that you can really bring your own meaning to it. As we do mantra day to day, and this really is a daily practice, the joy of not having a particular meaning linked to a word means that Ram today can mean one thing for you, and Ram tomorrow can mean another thing, depending on what you're trying to call in, what you're trying to manifest, what is the power that you're trying to engage with as we're speaking these beautiful vibrational tones. Amazing. So before we get into the singing meditation, and yes, we're getting singing today, I'm so excited. I want us to warm up a little bit and really start to understand vocal placement. When people get nervous about singing, they start to hold their gut in and their shoulders come up. And what this does is allows us to not breathe properly. And as we learned last week, breathing is going to be the foundation of all sound that we create. But also, as we get nervous and we start to bring our shoulders up, we engage a bunch of false muscles that our body thinks that it needs to create the sound. But what it actually does in effect is cuts off the sound. There's something called false vocal folds, which we won't dive into anatomy today, but that is going to be the primary thing that we're going to be focusing on not bringing in to our voice practice. And that can be done, honestly, just by staying loose, allowing yourself to move. This is not a rigid practice. We're not doing classical opera where we're standing here with a very rigid form. This is going to be very, very free-flowing. One of the beautiful things that I do love about the style of voice that I've been learning for the past couple of years, and something that I'm really excited to bring to you as well. The idea of staying moving and having a lot of looseness and freedom as we start to explore our voice and the sounds that it can create. So we're gonna take Ram and we're actually gonna break it down into each individual letter or sound. And we're gonna start from the back and work forwards. Is a beautiful place to start warming up your voice in the morning. It eliminates putting too much pressure on your voice, and pressure is given by breath. And so if we're going first thing in the day, then we're actually blasting through our vocal cords and we're not allowing them to come together fully to create a beautiful and resonant sound. So is a way that basically eliminates that, because your mouth is shut. There's no way for that to actually apply too much pressure. And so as we go into what I want us to visualize in our head is something delicious. Whatever that might be for you. Maybe it's a favorite piece of fruit, a favorite meal, whatever that is, we're gonna imagine that in our head as we come into the sound and just play with that. The vibrations for we want to sit right at the front of the face. It's almost as if your teeth are singing. It's gonna feel buzzy and almost tickly if you're not used to this feeling, but we don't want the sound to fall back, because anything that is falling backwards with the voice can be damaging, and that's really not where we want the vibration to go, is it? We want it to go out. Keeping it nice and bright in the face, a nice little smile. It's something delicious. You smile when you eat something delicious. Beautiful. And we're going to take that to a tone. This is a D tone, just what I happen to have in front of me right now. There's no significance to it at this particular time, but a beautiful D tone, and we're going to bring that up to an M. Nice. Staying nice and loose, letting yourself move through it. Nice and buzzy in the front part of our face. Amazing. We're going to move on to ah. And ah, what we're going to picture is bliss, a beautiful, blissful moment. For me, that's when I get into bed at the end of the day and snuggle up to my cutie, or if I'm stepping into a bath after a long day. Where does that come from? It comes from deep, deep in the belly. And what happens to the rest of your body when you go into that moment? It relaxes. So this is where I want us to think about something that's like, blissful, and the relaxation that comes with it. And then is going to come from deep in the belly, remembering our belly breath from last episode. Letting that jaw fall open as we come into our Don't let it fall too far, and to prevent it from falling backwards, remember we want to keep our sound forwards, is even though your jaw is going to fall open and let it relax, keep a little micro smile in the corner of your lips. This is all meant to be very, very yummy. And just have some fun with it. Nice. The same thing, and we're going to take that to a bit of a tone. Nice and gentle, super, super light, super, super yummy. Beautiful. Our R, I'm not going to spend too much time on. This is going to help us direct the sound. And as we get into future seed sounds, you're going to notice that the and the stay very consistent. And it's going to be the beginning fricative or letter or vowel that's going to change. And that's what associates it to the different chakras. So R has to do with our solar plexus chakra. This is where our fire comes from. And that's about it. That's about all I got there today. I don't want to dive too far into that. So you can roll your tongue, you cannot roll your tongue. This is up to you and what you're comfortable with. I enjoy rolling my tongue a little bit because, again, I find it helps bring the direction forward. It helps prepare the front of my face for that sound, helping that come up and out of my body and in the forward direction. And that's really what the energy of this Beeja Mantra is all about. forward direction, bringing it into form. And that is the quality of our solar plexus chakra, is form. Its element is fire, right? The fire that drives us through our life. The quality form is really, what are you manifesting in your life? How are you bringing it from your thoughts, from your dreams, from your imagination, and forming it into reality? So really, that's what this mantra is all about. That's what working with this seed sound is all about. So we're really going to think about what we're trying to bring into existence as we are thinking about our meditation, our singing meditation today, and you'll get a prompt for that as well once we get into it. But first, let's practice it all together. Ram. And you're closing your mouth around the ah. Ram. Nice. And it's not ram like the animal or rum like the liquor. It's kind of halfway between the two. Ram. Another thing to help maybe understand how that is supposed to be said is you can imagine a little H after the A. So R-A-H-M. Ram. Nice. So we're just going to practice that on our tone, maybe 2-3 times until we have it under control. And then we're going to bring it to our singing meditation. Ram. Nice. One more time. Belly breath. Ram. Keeping your head nice and loose, shifting from side to side. We're going to do it one more time just for fun. Belly breath. Ram. Beautiful. Go put on something comfortable, and I will see you on the other side at the meditation.
Welcome and namaste to our Kaya voice work. Find a comfortable position where you can breathe freely and begin today's singing meditation by practicing Anapanasati, mindfulness of breath, as we breathe deeply into the belly, letting the day fall away thus far. Clearly in your mind's eye, picture what it is that you want to bring into the world. A manifestation of your dreams, your desires, and your passion. Maybe a new habit or goal. How would you feel if this was already done? Om Ram Ramaya Namaha. Om Ram Ramaya Namaha. Om Ram Ramaya Namaha. Om and salutations to Rama, the bestower of happiness, inner peace, and balance. May your warrior energy, inner focus, and personal integrity reside inside me.
I hope you enjoyed that beautiful singing meditation. At the end of the month, I'll be making a downloadable playlist that is free so that you can take those audio files anywhere, practice in your car. Well, maybe not in your car as you're driving, but practice in your car, practice at work, wherever it is that you want to bring that, on a walk. Walking meditations are always beautiful, but that way you can take these tools and bring them with you elsewhere and get right to the meditations, and always come back to the video every once in a while just to check in on your techniques and your foundations again. I also want to take this opportunity to share a couple links down in the description section below. This week I have been battling with my sinuses. I felt a cold coming on, and a new recent healer that I brought into my life for the first time gave me some holistic practices that really made a vast difference without having to go into pharmaceutical medications. Pharmaceutical medications can be very drying on your system, which makes it very drying on your throat. So I've linked to Dali below. Not only is he one of the best acupuncturists I've ever explored here in the Greater Toronto area, he's also a Chinese medicine herbalist, and he's given me a really beautiful video on pressure points to help open and stimulate your sinus region. So I've put a link to Dali down below so you can check out his work. He posts a new video every single week for self-care on pressure points. So please check it out, grab some of that extra good healing for yourself, and I'll see you next week. Namaste.